Hey, Joe Hubbard here from JoeHubbardBassVideos.com. In this particular lesson, we're going to take a look at a few improvisational tactics in the style of the legendary James Jamerson. So with that in mind, grab your bass and let's get started. James Jamerson is often cited and recognized as one of the most influential bass players in soul, rock, and pop. This is interesting because he was trained as a jazz musician and approached the majority of his body of work as an improvising bass player. The problem in popular music is that the majority of bass lines are based on riffs, and unfortunately many people have learned to play that way. The word improvisation in rock and pop is often misunderstood as a solo-only approach. This couldn't be further from the truth. And because of this disconnect, many aspiring players who love those non-repetitive and creative lines that Jamerson was famous for are left scratching their heads wondering how they're going to tap into that creative genius that Jamerson displayed. Now stay with me. The answer to this problem is quite simple, really. Jamerson understood melody, harmony, and rhythm. These are the tools that you need to understand how to improvise. Although it goes way beyond the scope of this lesson to cover a deep understanding of this subject matter, if you're looking to take this further, then just click on the link to my website, www.joehubbardbassvideos.com, and sign up for my weekly lesson program, either the Gold or the Premium membership. And in 1 year, my lessons will change your perspective forever on playing the bass guitar. The three tactics that we're going to take a look at in today's lesson are chord tones, pedal points, and chromatic approach notes. We're going to apply this over a 2-bar groove, but using form, we're going to stretch this into an 8-bar phrase using a turnaround at the end. So let's get straight into the content. The chord this groove is based on is an A dominant 7th chord, which is comprised of A, C sharp, E, and G, or root, 3, 5, and flat 7. And these are the chord tones that make up this chord. We need to understand how to utilize chord tones in our lines because chord tones are good to resolve your lines too. Now, one of the tactics that Jamerson would use frequently would be the chromatic approach notes. And we want to highlight one of those combinations today, which is the double chromatic from below. So if I start here and I go root into my flat 7 and then climb up to the 5th using a double chromatic from below. I put it in time, I've got this. And that's the first part of our line. Notice we're using some syncopation in the rhythm, and this is very Jamerson-esque in the way that he would do this. Now another tactic he would use is called pedal points. And pedal points is playing a repetitive note, usually the root, sometimes the 5th is used, while you're playing other notes that create a specific melodic line. So what I'm doing here is I'm playing the pedal from a high note, and then from the low notes I'm playing a double chromatic, but this time I'm going to resolve it into what's called a chord tension. Now this might be a little intermediate material, but it's going to be into tension sharp 11 over the dominant 7th chord, which is the same as a raised 4th. And those notes, tension 9, sharp 11, and 13, are good notes to resolve into the dominant 7th chord. So we're going to use that. And I like this because Jamerson would use this frequently over a dominant 7th chord, and a lot of guys would say, wow, how did he make this work over like a simple commercial soul groove? And he would do it all the time. A lot of guys would say, oh, sharp 11, it's a jazz thing. No, not necessarily. It's a music thing. And you need to know how that fits into other styles. Jamerson was really a master at doing this. So the pedal point line is going to go like this. And then what I'm going to do is play another pedal point line where I go like this and keep my pedal on the bottom. And note how I'm doing the double chromatic below the 7th. Really nice effect. And then I'm just going to come back to the root, okay? I'm going to play a little turnaround at the end, and this is might be a little tricky. It uses some blues ideas and some chromatic approach notes, and it's really using the concept of delayed resolution, which is very cool, that you would see Jamerson use from time to time. This is a little bit of my take, my paraphrase on this, but I think it sounds cool, and I think you'll think this is a cool lick as well. So I'll use this little blues pattern there, and then what I'm doing is I'm playing double chromatic above now to the flat 7, okay? Then I go jump down and go double chromatic above the root, okay? But instead of going straight into the root, I'm gonna jump up and do the double chromatic above the 5th, and then I'm gonna resolve to the root and then the 5th. So the ear hears it as these notes were approaching, my ear wanted that to go to the root, but I thought, no, I'm gonna delay that. I'm gonna go around the corner. I'm gonna make my journey a little bit longer, come up to the double chromatic above the 5th, now go to the root, and now go to the 5th, and it has a very cool effect. And then I go up to the octave at the end. And then I'm just going to go down to the flat 7 here, and then I'm back to my start off point. So the whole line is like this. Well, I hope you enjoyed the material presented in today's lesson. And if you liked it, get on over to www.joehubbardbassvideos.com and test drive the site today with 3 free video lessons. All you need to do is enter your email address and I'll send you the lessons for free. As always, practice smart, work hard, and play creatively. Thank you, good luck, and I hope to see you on the other side.